With all the growth happening to the Sacramento area, it looks like two other people that are moving in are Fastrak and toll lanes. This does not make anyone happy. Trust me, it doesn't make me happy. I'm a person who used to live in the Bay Area, made the move to Sacramento, and there are no toll lanes here. There are no Fastrak. It is so beautiful. But that's going to change in the future, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So in this video, we're going to talk about what we know at this moment, exactly what's going to be happening in the Sacramento area with these Fastrak and toll lanes. Guys, this is an added expense that you don't want to burden. I don't want to burden, but they're going to happen whether we like it or not. Let's get into the video right now. All right, guys, we're going to jump right into it. Like I said, I promise and I'll deliver. We're talking about the entire where the toll booths are and all that kind of fun stuff. So that's going to come towards the video. It's interesting, right? I moved from the Bay Area a while ago, and they're toll booths, and there are even more as I go back to the Bay Area to see stuff. And honestly, it's annoying. I mean, for a lot of people, yeah, maybe not as annoying, but someone like a realtor who's driving around like crazy, that's not fun. So it does kind of make me kind of hesitate. It just makes me a little nervous about all this stuff going on. And I wish it was a little bit more like, more upfront. I wish there was more media and press behind this. So I wanted to come in and talk to you guys a little bit about it. So for people who are thinking about moving in, for everyone in general in the Sacramento area, I think this is going to be something that for the most part is going to be a kind of a shocker. But at the same time, like I said, I still don't think it takes away from Sacramento being an amazing spot to live. I just think that we've had so many people move in, traffic is becoming an issue, that right now we're trying to figure out a good way to actually kind of alleviate that. Are toll roads the way to go there? I mean, I still got my Fastrak from the Bay Area in my car. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about the possible of tolls, Fastrak. I mean, what I hear right now, straight up, like I said, we're going to get into some like, I got all the stuff laid out here for you guys talking about the tolls. I'm going to tell you about the proposals, the 5 also, all that stuff too. And I got a little bit from a business insider too, who's going to give us a little bit of his thoughts on it as well too. So this is going to be a good one. Now, before we get started, I want to do a little PR on our latest and greatest listing in Rancho Cordova. This single story luxury home, absolutely gorgeous, blown up. But I kind of wanted to show you right now what you can get in Rancho that is just one of a kind. Now, Michelle sold one just like this a few weeks back. She sold it for $855. This house right here, $835. Awesome single story, big backyard for those swimming pools. Let's show you the video. If you're looking for a luxury home in Rancho Cordova, Elk Grove Unified School District with some of the best finishes you've ever seen, this single story house is for you. In fact, let's take a little bit and look at the outside. Here are the 5 things I love the most about this amazing luxury home. Number 1, I love this formal dining room. Have you ever dreamt about owning your own island? Number 2, this amazing island. Everybody needs an office, and this home office does not disappoint. That's number 3. Number 4, fireplace, contemporary, run all the way up to these 12-foot ceilings. Number 5, a primary bedroom that's large enough for a king-size bed with all these windows. Woof, just love that. And now a bonus, number 6. And I know I said 5, but this house is too good. And now 6, a walk-in closet that's the size of a mini bedroom, and a primary bathroom that does not disappoint. You got your shower, you got your standalone tub, and separate vanities. Need I say more? All right, guys, my humble opinion, the hottest listing currently in the Sacramento area. If you guys are looking for a single story, you want all the finishes you all dreamt of, this house is priced right, $835, backyard big enough for a pool. Give Michelle or myself a call and we can show you that house. Okay, so let's get into it a little bit too. Let's talk a little bit about the toll roads. Now, you guys might be familiar with a website or a Instagram account called On-Site Observer. It is actually run by a man named Vitaly. He is a good friend of mine. So when he broke the story about these toll roads and everything that was happening, I called him up and I said, look, can you give me a little bit, maybe a minute clip to get people kind of like a little bit of information. Now we have all the slides and all this stuff to go in after his message, but I wanted to give you a little bit of what he's thinking as far as the toll roads, how they're going to impact Sacramento and everything too. And then I'll give you a little bit of what I think. And I also want to know what you guys think in the comments as well.
There's no doubt that the Sacramento region has been growing, especially during and after COVID-19. We've seen a large influx of people migrating to the Sacramento area. And of course, with any growth comes growing pains, one of which is traffic. While there's many ways to mitigate traffic issues, all of which, by the way, are complex and expensive, Sacramento area is opting for toll lanes as a solution. The first project that will introduce toll lanes in the region is the YOLO 80 Corridor Improvement Project. It aims to widen Interstate 80 from 6 to 8 lanes between Kidwell Road in Dixon and West El Camino Avenue in Sacramento. It will also add express lanes on the Highway 50 corridor between I-80 and 50 interchange and I-5 near downtown Sacramento. The project has been in the works for many years, but a lot of progress has been made in the last year. For example, last year the project received $105 million from California Transportation Commission that will finance the first phase. Also, last year a new agency was formed called Capital Area Regional Tolling Authority. This agency, also known as CARTA, will oversee tolling infrastructure and policies not just for this project, but for future projects as well. It's safe to say that the way folks commute in the Sacramento area in the next 10 to 15 years will change. If you want to know more about this project, make sure to visit onsiteobserver.com or at onsiteobserver on Instagram. My name is Vitaly Moskolenko, and thank you for tuning in.
I'm bringing the best, guys, right to you guys. All right, let's see if we can get back. Okay, so everyone's seen right now, for the most part, when you're driving up from the Bay Area on the 80, you're seeing all those kind of fast track, all that stuff too. So for sure, you're probably going to be seeing tolls from going from San Francisco or Sacramento to San Francisco coming up. That's kind of a no-brainer. I've kind of seen that, and that's going to be, that's just something that we're going to have to deal with. But this is where it gets really, really interesting. You got the YOLO 80 corridor. Sorry. This is what it looks like right here. Now, this is going to be the first time that toll roads have been really introduced in the Sacramento area. For the most part, we haven't had to deal with any of this stuff. Let's get some Amber. That'd be crazy. Yeah, I agree. Like, honestly, for me, I was just thinking to myself, like, where are these roads going to be? Who are they going to affect? As far as our city, we don't have a normal kind of like metro where we have this huge freeway going around it. We have all these like arteries going through. It's just it's kind of a cluster. It's almost like Sacramento kind of thought that we'd have maybe 100 people and that was it. So the growth is just crazy. We got the connector project, 99.5, or 99, all the way to the 50. Like, we just got these projects coming in because of all this growth. I mean, think how many new homes we're putting in Folsom Ranch. We have, and we're going to total about 30,000 homes. Elk Grove the same, West Roseville the same. So we have all these people that are kind of moving in, and we definitely have traffic issues currently. I think at the same time, though, I wasn't really thinking that we would go the toll route. I didn't think Sacramento would have to deal with that stuff as of, I just didn't, think that myself. I mean, how many of you guys thought that tolls would be coming our way? For me, I didn't really fathom it as much. I mean, Sacramento, the Sacramento area seemed a far cry from the Bay Area. But for me as a realtor, it's going to be impactful. I think for a lot of people maybe that are moving into the Sacramento area, what you're going to notice is the fact that, working at home, I mean, you're good to go. I mean, working at home, you're fine. But if there's people who are commuting to go to the Bay Area once a week, if there's people who are needing to commute all around Sacramento, it's going to be a pain. Also, for a lot of the construction companies that are just going back and forth, it's going to be a big thing that people are going to have to get used to in the Sacramento area. We got Ben. Ben, I think, is in Hawaii right now. Hey, Ben, have a fun time in Hawaii. Welcome back. Ben actually runs one of the top property management companies in all of Sacramento. He might say Folsom, but honestly, he does all of Sacramento. If you guys are looking for a rental, if you're looking for a spot, talk to Ben. If you need a property manager or if you need someone to show you some rentals, Ben's the guy. So just feel free to give me a call. All right, then you got Michelle, beautiful home. That was definitely a beautiful home. Like I said, if you guys are looking for something, single story, luxury, all that stuff too, contact Michelle. Like, the beautiful part about this home too, it's about like 12 minutes from like Folsom Ranch. It's maybe about, like, I'd say 8 minutes from Costco. It's pretty nice. And it's lower Melrose than any of the new home developments currently right now in the Rancho area. Really, really nice. And you got Elk Grove Unified School District. Boom, to boot. All right. More reason to buy a home from Mark and his team. So nice, you'll never want to leave, which is perfect because those tolls you couldn't afford anyways. Stay home, save tolls, YOLO. Yeah, for me, I think it's just gonna be just kind of a nightmare for a lot of people. All right, so let's go over this. Introduction toll lane. Sacramento region is set to implement its first toll lanes through the YOLO 80 corridor. Improvements project, expanding Interstate 80 from 6 to 8 lanes, which we need, between Kidwell Road and Dixon and West El Camino Avenue in Sacramento. All right, that's full project scope. 17-mile projects includes additional express lanes on U.S. Highway 50 between I-80 and U.S. 50 split in West Sacramento. A's are in town. That doesn't bode well. And I-5 US 50 interchange in Sacramento. I mean, that's kind of the heart. If you guys don't know, that's kind of the heart of the Sacramento area. When you get off the causeway and you're driving, you're like right there. So just kind of in relation to what you guys are going to be expecting. Toll delays, details, sorry. Express lanes will be free for carpools with 3 or more people and buses, while solo drivers will pay a toll using a Fastrak transporter. So guys, it's coming whether we like it or not. And this is kind of what it looks like. Okay, so, oof, man, we got the readers. We got, oh man, look at this. Davis going all the way up. YOLO Causeway West begins. Wow, this is going to get a lot of people, especially people who are going from Davis to Sacramento. And this is going to be brutal. Okay. As this story unfolds even more, we'll have more details. And like I said, I want to have Vitaly on maybe in a couple weeks to go over this. But this is something that for the most part, it's not one of those things that it might not happen. It's already in process of happening. So if you're someone who's thinking about maybe making the move to Sacramento, if you're someone who lives here, this is going to be very, very impactful for everybody moving in. This is going to be really, really, man, this is going to be kind of crazy. Ben, all right, this might be the first I'm watching you live on YouTube. In flight right now, coming back from Hawaii. Thanks to Starlink. You're coming through loud and clear. Good. And if there's anyone on the plane looking to move to Sacramento, let them reach out to me. So yeah, so this is it. Now, this is the YOLO 80 proposed configuration. This isn't in stone. The one thing, though, that I've heard that is in stone for the most part is the fact that tolls are coming our way. It's not one of those things where it's like it could happen, it might not happen. It's happening. Whether it's in the near future or in the future, we don't really know. But at this point in time, this is kind of what it looks like. And this is the first leg of the tolls. And there's also another one scheduled as well. Look at that cost, $465 million. Guess who's going to be paying for that? Oof, man, look at that. Construction starts spring of 2025. Guys, I'm telling you straight up, that's going to be more construction that we don't need in Sacramento. I mean, we're going to have it. I'm just thinking we don't need it. All right. If you back and forth from Sacramento and West Sacramento, will you pay a toll? I think based on what I know about the Bay Area and everything too, I think you pay it one way and you don't pay it on the way back. That's just my guess, right? As it unfolds more and more and more, we'll let you know every single detail. We'll try to find out how much it's going to start at. But here's a brutal part about tolls is we've all seen they slowly and gradually start getting more expensive and more expensive and more expensive. Just as you get used to the price on the toll, they get more and more expensive. And so we'll try to figure out exactly, as this story goes, we'll try to figure out exactly what it looks like, if you'll be paying on both ways, which I don't think you will. And also the toll amount, because for me, I'm just kind of curious about this. Because here's the thing, like we in Sacramento, it's kind of a different vibe than in the Bay Area, right? Everyone in the Bay Area, what I feel a lot of the tolls are like, one way going to work, right? And one way coming back, there's no tolls. Like in Sacramento area, we're driving everywhere. Like, we're driving, like to downtown Sacramento, then we're in Folsom, then we're going to El Dorado. We're cruising all around Sacramento. So this is going to be absolutely brutal. I get the fact that we got a lot of traffic and this was maybe a matter of a time thing, but the idea that it's coming in now is just nuts. And like I said, this is the first of a few other projects that are coming our way as well, too. All right, here we go. Boom. It's like blackmail. You want to drive easily, you pay, you refuse, you get stuck in traffic, 100%. I will tell you one thing, though. I was thinking about this, too. The nice thing about Sacramento, though, is the fact that we have so many arteries as well, too. Although the arteries, Hazel and Sunrise, are going to be even more brutal if we decide to get, like, more toll roads kind of like around that. It's just, yeah. It's gonna be nuts. I'm trying to like picture this in my brain as far as like tolls, because I lived in the Bay Area and it really did prevent you from doing stuff you wanted to do because you're like, I don't want to pay the toll. I don't want to do this. So I can only imagine how this could possibly expand to other areas, other like, freeway areas, maybe the connector project or whatnot. So yeah, it's going to be really, really kind of interesting to see how this all lays out. I mean, considering Sacramento's been bringing in people left and right, like I said, it's not surprising that they needed to do something like this. I'm just curious because Sacramento isn't structured like normal cities or normal areas. What you normally have is like the Sacramento metro area like this. And then you have a freeway going around it, but we don't have that in Sacramento. So we have a lot of arteries going in and out of various areas in Sacramento. You have a lot of like, Folsom Boulevard can take you all the way from what? Folsom Boulevard can take you all the way from Folsom to like downtown Sacramento. You don't even have to hit the freeway. So it'll be interesting to see how they plan everything out, because this could be a huge, huge cluster if not done right. But the main thing for you guys out there, and hopefully you're watching and getting some takeaways from this, is the fact that this stuff is coming our way. Our growth, I think there's gonna be more construction on the freeway as well too. We're kind of in a growth spurt, like I always say on this channel, and I think this stuff is just gonna develop, gonna keep going. So it's not fun. It's not something that for myself that I'm gonna love, because like I said, I'm a realtor, and there's a lot of realtors here in Sacramento. That just means we're gonna be driving left and right and left. It's gonna be pretty brutal. And also you got gas prices, you have all this stuff's happening with the tariffs. It's probably going to affect everything as well too. So this is going to definitely be something that I think a lot of people should know about, and a lot of people need to factor that in. So I'm not happy about this. Hey, Mark, since I now have to save money for tolls, can I just buy that dream island without buying that dream house? Yes, you can. The dream island, you definitely can. And it might be hard to put walls around it, but yeah, you definitely can. Yeah. Also, if you guys are looking for any type of help as far as your homes go, like even if you're not selling, like contractors, like anything you need underneath the sun, please feel free to reach out. We don't do any like referral this or referral that, but like I'll give you a list of people that I use specifically myself for my house and my clients and everything too. And like I said, like Javier, for me, like he's a great home insurance person. We have a few others as well too. So if you guys are ever stuck and maybe you're watching this video and you're saying to yourself, you know what, I'd love to get my cabinets done, or, hey, these tolls are brutal, I want to get that nice quartzite countertop put in, just give me a call. I got tons of people to help you guys out. All right. Awful news, but not surprising. Yeah. Crowd control, I'm with you. It's going to be very interesting how they roll this out as well too. Like I said, what's called 80, 50, 90, it's gonna be crazy. I think a lot of people are just gonna be, this is gonna be annoying. Okay, I'm not going to West Sacramento anymore. You're not an A's fan. Yeah, West Sacramento is gonna be, yeah, I mean, honestly, like West Sacramento is like my dark horse pick for this year and next year, just basically based on like the A's, the X Games and everything too. I'm curious if this whole toll scare is gonna scare people out of West Sac. I don't know. I still love West Sacramento. I think it's a great spot. I think it's like nice, fun and everything too. But yeah, these tolls I think are going to impact where a lot of people like live and work. One of the things for me specifically is, for example, like, let's say you're someone who, I don't know, let's say you're someone who, works in a part of like, let's say you're someone who works in a part of Sacramento and right now you're moving in, right? You're thinking to yourself, you know what? 25-minute, 30-minute drive doesn't matter. I mean, look, if I'm finding my spot that I love to live, it doesn't matter. And I will bet that a majority of people who are thinking in that way don't even anticipate the idea that toll roads are planned for certain parts of the Sacramento area. And I think for myself, if I'm moving in, and I'm moving in, like I said, coming from the Bay Area myself, coming to Sacramento, one of the beautiful parts about Sacramento was there were no toll roads. You know what I mean? You could drive where you wanted to. The other thing, parking is easy here. It was just so easy. Yeah, downtown you have the metered parking and, but it was nothing like the Bay Area. I mean, and it's annoying, like I come back from seeing my relatives in Walnut Creek and it's like, I got to go pay my Fastrak bill and everything too. And it's just another added expense that you got to factor in. So for me, if you are moving into Sacramento, just kind of heads up a little bit. I'd say talk to your realtor. I mean, if your realtor even really knows about this stuff too, but this is going to impact you one way or the other. So just so you know that this is on its way. All right. Do we get to vote on these toll roads? They're just imposing another tax, road tax on freeways, or we already paid for, sorry about that. Let me see if I can start all over. And this time I'm going to speak proper English. Did we vote on these toll roads? They're just imposing another tax and road tax on freeways. We already paid from our current travel gas taxes. I agree. I mean, I think we're getting double billed on this thing. I'm going to find out actually, because I was talking to Vitaly earlier and he was like, you know what? Here's the thing. I think he said something like there's going to be another vote for these things too. I think he said either way they're coming in, but I think there are going to be additional meetings about these toll roads specifically. If I find out when the meeting is, I will post it on the community tab on this channel as well too, to let you guys know where you can go up and voice it. Because for me, I look at it and I say to myself, like, I love the Sacramento area, growth potential, new homes, everything fun to do here too. But as you know, someone who drives a lot, I'm not a big fan of the idea of having all these tolls hit me. I mean, you know, gas is expensive. I mean, we went to Costco and it just was crazy at Costco. And I think based on everything, stock market, based on like interest rates currently, I think we might be in for it might be a little rocky. So like for me, you know, we want to minimize costs, and adding tolls to an area where there never were tolls before, that could be problematic. So just, you know, my 2 cents on that. Let me know what you guys think about tolls. Pamela, tolls don't work. Metro Atlanta has it, and the traffic is still bad. And on the south side, it's always closed. Yeah, honestly, like I think that's one of the things too. I think people are going to assume that because there's tolls that there's going to be no traffic. I think right now Sacramento's in a spot where we're going to have traffic no matter what we do. And I think for the most part, traffic is just going to be part of the game here in Sacramento, tolls or no tolls. So hopefully, I mean, hopefully, like, you know, I don't know. I mean, part of me goes, I think the tolls are going to come in. I think it's going to be a little bit, there's going to be not a huge monetary amount to start. But like I said, coming from the good old battle days, like I remember the Golden Gate Bridge was like a buck, right? And then it kind of went up and up and up and up. And so I think once they start putting tolls out there, no matter what the amount, they just kind of will continue to add to it. So that's the thing that kind of worries me a little bit as well too. All right. Ivan, we the people need to have a proposition on the ballot, whether the freeways or free are free or they are toll roads or two toll roads. The politicians and bureaucrats under the Capitol Dome will know the outcome. A big fat no. Well, here's the thing too. And one of the things that like really annoys me about, like I love Sacramento. I think it's great. But one of the things that annoys me totally is like you'd think like the news would be a little bit more proactive in the Sacramento area. Like you'd think like CBS would be there, you think the B would be there, and people would be putting this stuff out there more so people actually knew this stuff was happening. You know, like, and that's the thing about On-Site Observer that I love, and I love Vitaly. He goes out there with his drone, he talks to developers and all that stuff too. So for me, you know, I wish our news was better. I've never been satisfied with the local news. I think that the local news is just so lacking for the type of region and area that we have right now and the growth potential that we have. And I think our news is just so lacking that like they should do some of these town halls where they're actually getting people's opinions. They're hearing the voices of people who actually live here, and they're kind of announcing things like this, but they don't. And, you know, half the time I see news sources talking about Los Angeles and like this and that and the other thing too. And we're not just talking about the fires. We're talking about like national news, when this local news, they should be doubling down on this and kind of talking a little bit about it, getting people's opinions who live in the region, what they think. And then also being able to like break it down a little bit. So for me, one of the things is, and one of the reasons why we want to do some news stories or start doing stuff that you guys don't know about is because unless you're an on-site observer, you're not going to know about this. This stuff is going to sneak in on you. Boom, it's going to be there. And then you're going to be like, didn't I get to vote on it? So for me, this is for you guys. All right, Wendy. Thank you, Wendy. You are amazing. And like I said, I have a good feeling about this weekend. Gold River. All right. So the next project coming up too, if this project proves successful, it could lead to more toll lanes in Sacramento region. Another project known as the Sac 5 is being planned for Interstate 5 from downtown Sacramento to the Natomas area near the airport. This project is still in early design phases with construction planned for 2028. So now we're going to have this proposed. It's not in stone. So I will tell you one thing. Now that you guys have been seeing this video and you know that what's ahead for Sacramento, understand that you do have a voice in all this stuff that happens. I just think that a lot of this stuff, you know, gets announced after it's already done. So I would say if you guys, you know, like if I find ways or if I find times where people are getting together and meet about this stuff, I'll definitely drop them in the community tab on this channel. But yeah, so this is kind of happening, whether we like it or not. This is the direction right now we're going in. And like I said, for me, I mean, I don't think people realize like when they're doing toll roads, one, it's going to add to the construction of that, you know, all the construction that's happening on the 50, on the, you know, everywhere. I think it's just going to add to that. The other thing too is I don't think people realize how much of a driving area Sacramento is. It's not like we're just commuting one way for work. I mean, we're driving everywhere in Sacramento. And so if you have toll roads in certain parts, I mean, you're going to be hitting them like 2 or 3 times a day, which is going to be brutal. Now, if you're someone who's thinking about moving into the Sacramento area, I would just go over the video, see exactly where I was showing you guys where the toll roads are going to happen, everything too. And you might want to factor that in as well too, just because I would if I was moving in. If I was moving into an area, let's say I came into Sacramento and I was looking at this and I was just assuming it was going to be a clear shot, it was good, and all of a sudden a couple years down the road there's a toll road right between myself and work, I would not be happy. So I would say maybe talk to your realtors about this. If you are working with our team, you probably already know about this. But these things and many gotchas, we love working with our clients and making sure that they know this stuff, because these things are things can really, really feel like you weren't given complete transparency. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. And like I said, this is happening whether we like it or not. And like, I'm going to have future updates about this on this channel and everything too. So hopefully you guys got a little bit of an idea of what's coming as far as toll roads, fast track for Sacramento, California. It's not fun. It's happening. Now, the Sac 5 project, still possibly there might be a little leeway on that one. So if I find a place where everyone's kind of getting together, let me know. Now, let's get into the market a little bit too. But if you guys are enjoying this live broadcast, if you like this type of like information about the Sacramento area, please smash that like button. It would mean a lot to me in the YouTube algorithm. Now, one more thing. If you guys are moving to the area, reach out to our team. We're not just your GoPro and looking around and showing you Sacramento. We actually we really know the market. We know what's actually happening in the market. We are real estate agents, but we're also like, we're really, really working the advisory role as well as telling you where things are being built, you know, things that are happening and everything too. So reach out to our team if you guys are looking to relocate to Sacramento. Oh yeah, one last thing before this is crazy. Okay, so check this out. One last thing before we get into the market update and everything too. There's a new law right now, okay, or a new regulation that just went into effect. Now this is kind of crazy, right? Okay, so every MLS is going to control when listings get basically funneled into the IDX feed. The IDX feed, what does the IDX feed do? It actually is on your, like when you have Zillow, when you have Redfin, when you have all that stuff, that's done through what's called an IDX feed. Basically, it means that any information on MLS, the local MLS where things are actually inputted, they get thrown out to like Zillow, to Redfin, to whatnot, right? And so now what ended up happening, maybe I think it was a couple days ago, is that each MLS and realtors and sellers control when actually these things are pushed to the IDX feed. Now, here's what is annoying about this. And this is something for you guys selling your homes to just completely be aware of, that if you actually list your home, you might not see it pop up on Zillow for like 3 days, 4 days, a week or whatnot too. So this delay is going to be absolutely huge. So normally what happens if you sell a house, you're selling someone's house, you put it on the MLS, a couple hours later, it's on Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, and all the apps. Love them or hate them, all these apps are very, very popular. It's how people see your home. I would say more than not, Zillow, people see Zillow, they plan their trips up to Sacramento and they look at homes, right? Now imagine that if you list your home on, let's say Friday, right? Your realtor puts it in the MLS, yada, yada. And all of a sudden, you know, no one sees it on Zillow. No one sees it on Redfin. The IDX feed is not really active for 3 days or 4 days or 7 days. We don't even know at this point, right? But like it's delayed. So all of a sudden, all those people who are out there hunting for a house will never see that your house is actually out there because of this delay in the IDX feed. And this is causing a big turmoil with like Zillow, Redfin, everything too. Now, I will tell you this straight up. This is the time when working with a good realtor does matter. A good buyer's agent too. What I would do, and if this was me straight up, if I was looking to come out for the weekend, I would talk to my realtor and I would say, look, I heard about this delay that they're doing, the IDX delay from the MLS. Can you please get me an accurate list of real-time houses that are actually on the market? Because if you are someone who's coming up to the Sacramento area and you think Zillow is going to be your best friend about this, you could miss out on 3 or 4 houses. Working with a realtor right now, and they have direct access to the MLS, could help you to see those houses that you might miss. Now, majority of realtors aren't even going to know about this delay. Yeah, what delay are you talking about? I would say, first of all, go online and take a look at it. Just type in like delayed MLS or, you know, MLS feed delay to IDX feed. You'll see it. It's something that just happened like maybe 3 or 4 days ago. I think it was 3 or 4 days ago. But for the most part, if you're someone looking to list your home, I would say, and you're thinking about listing it Friday, you might not see it pop up on Zillow until the following week. So just keep that stuff in mind and keep that in the back of your heads. It's going to be absolutely huge. And I know a lot of people don't know about this. My team had an entire meeting about it this week, and we were talking about the only way to basically negate this is for videos, like what we're doing. Like normally, what we'll do for a listing is we do a video and then we put our own money also behind it, and we blast it out to all the DMAs, all the the metros that we think are going to produce a buyer for the homes. And I think more than not right now, marketing videos and all that stuff too are going to play into are going to be a really, really key role right now in selling homes, because you're not going to know if Zillow is going to have your house out there or not. I mean, how annoyed would you be? You're looking to sell that house. You got open houses planned the whole weekend, and you do not see your house pop up on Zillow until maybe Tuesday of next week. So guys, just be aware that that's happening, and that's huge. And honestly, we're going to be talking about that a little bit more as well too. All right. So as we all know, this was not fun. Stocks. Okay, so this right now, as far as the real estate market in general, hasn't been a fun week, right? Stocks, a lot of people lost a lot of money. We have a lot of our clients who are looking to buy, like, to make the move here, Sacramento. A lot of them are from the Bay Area. Stocks aren't doing good, and they're kind of getting nervous because of first, they lost a lot of money in the stock market, and two, they're just really, really concerned about the tariffs. So everyone really realizes right now the economic stability is it's just not feeling right now for a lot of people. So what you're seeing right now is a little bit lighter of buyer demand than normally we see in springtime. So, that's just what you're seeing right now. And you might talk to realtors, and there are some houses priced right. They're flying off the shelves. Yes. But for the most part, what you're seeing right now is a lot of people are very much like playing musical chairs and staying in their chair until they feel like the market is a little bit more solid, which I don't blame them. I understand this. I mean, a lot of people lost their shirts with this too. So, and to top it off, look at this. Boom. Look at that. Man, that's crazy. Oh, I won't do the pen tonight. So, as of a couple days ago, we just saw a spike. So now we're headed back into 7 range. So not only do we have the stocks, but we're also back on a climb. Now, I'm not telling you guys like this is what you can get for a rate, credit, down payment, all that kind of fun stuff, job history. But I always say, look at the trend right now too. And that is a very, very, very high spike right now too. And we're headed towards 7, and there isn't any type of there's like a boom. So just be aware right now. It's going to be an interesting one. Now, do I think at the same time, are there still people looking to come out to Sacramento and move and buy homes? Absolutely, 100%. I think people have been planning this move for a long, long time, and they're getting ready to get up here and make it happen. I think right now, my biggest concerns, if I was a buyer coming here, is making sure that the pricing is good on homes. One of those things I'm seeing straight up is like, and I mentioned this last week, is like you see a house priced at $1 million, worth 800, and then maybe, and I know, worth, costs, all that stuff is different, but let's just, for this example, let's say it's listed at $1 million, it's worth 800, they reduced to 900, everybody thinks it's a smoking deal. They jump in and buy the house, and all of a sudden they get into appraisal situation issues. So just be warned. Like, one of the things that I'm saying more than not is you've got to basically be able to price out a home right in this market. It's huge. And I've seen a lot of people kind of get killed on this as well too. A lot of listing agents also are saying, hey, if you waive the appraisal contingency, they'll accept your offer. The reason they're doing that is because that chances more than not, that's probably one of those houses. So just be really, really concerned about that. My own 2 cents. Can tolls be possibly written off on our taxes? I think they can be business-wise. I think you can write off tolls with taxes if you can tie it into a business. I think so. Hopefully, real estate taxes, that'd be awesome. All right, Wendy, I can hardly wait. I'm extremely excited. Your professional videos and extremely excited about your professional video of my place soon. 1,000% believe in you and Nikki. You and Nikki are professionals. Thank you, Wendy. And like I said, for us, not only will we do an amazing video of your house, Wendy, we will actually spend money to actually put it out there. Like normally what we'll do, and this is how we market houses, right? We'd go in there, we do the video, all this stuff too. Now we cut up clips for Instagram, for TikTok and LinkedIn and Facebook and everything too. But normally what we end up doing is we have a video that we market to various DMAs. Now we've been doing research with where specific people who are looking to move into the Sacramento area, what they're looking for. And so we basically throw that out there. Now, for the people that we work with that are sellers, we normally present this every single Monday and we show them how many people from Danville sell your home, how many people from this. So this has been proving very, very successful for our team. Right now, literally, like this year, we've already sold, I think, like 7 or 8 houses. Everything was pretty much done with YouTube. And the only house that we have left, because we've been literally listing them and selling them on YouTube, is this one in Rancho, which is already getting a lot of activity. And I'm guessing it's going to be gone in about a week, week and a half, if that. I mean, and the only reason I also think, because this house is gorgeous, it's underpriced. It's pretty much a match perfect model, except with a bigger backyard than the last one we sold a few weeks back for $855. But I do think that one of the things that it might be affecting people a little bit is, number one, stock market, and number two, just mortgage rates or interest rates are going up. But other than that, this house is amazing. Like I said, if you guys are looking for single story house, this thing is great, and I think this could be a good time for you. Maybe. Again, it's time in their life, not the market. Okay, so based on everything, based on the stock market, based on interest rates, demand is still a little slow. Sellers, I think, for the most part, if you see a house fly off the market, that means that the listing agent was really good, aggressive price and everything too. But we all are still seeing a lot of houses that are sitting. Now, what we are also seeing is the fact that a lot of our luxury market, it's not moving as fast as the other market. A lot of people who buy in the luxury market cash out of stocks and then they jump into our luxury market, which is, I'd say, 1.7 and above. So that tends to be one of those things that right now everyone's feeling a little nervous about home insurance. Everyone's feeling nervous about making a big purchase in the Sacramento area. And so that's what we're seeing. Now, the hot market is still like, I'd say maybe 650s to like maybe the 850s, 950s is still a pretty strong market. I would say for also first time home buyers, it's getting a little tougher, especially with interest rates going up as well too. So it's tough. As far as your luxury listing Rancho, it's amazing. Oh, thanks, Ben. I appreciate it. It is a gorgeous house, like I said. And one of the things too that's nice is it's actually a single story that actually has a decent sized backyard. What you're gonna notice a lot with single stories, especially whether it's in Rancho or Folsom, is that normally these single stories, because they leave a bigger imprint, they don't have a big backyard. This backyard, I kid you not, privacy, big enough for a pool. It's got those big, nice sliders to go to the backyard. Really, really gorgeous. And a walk-in closet that's the size of a bedroom. So if you guys are looking for something like that, this is the house for you. All right, so that's kind of the market. Sums it up a little bit. Like I said, we're getting the Q&A in a second. For me, as far as living in Sacramento, as far as being here right now, I'd say the Costco's are freaking crazy right now. Went to 2 Costco's today. I went to the one in Folsom. It was absolutely nuts. Had to park by the gas station, then went to Rancho because that Costco was too much. Rancho was the same way. I think people right now are just kind of freaking out a little bit. I think people are buying, but they expect prices to be a little lower, and prices are already kind of going up. So that's just something to be in mind in Sacramento. Now, as far as our spring market, like I said, I think demand is a little slower. Luxury listings are a little bit hurting at this point. But the 2 things I would say for buyers is just make sure you have a realtor who knows how to price houses well, knows square footage, knows how much things should be selling for, and what's a good price and what is an inflated price. I'd say that's absolutely huge. Again, I would also say that the market can change at any moment. As we saw, we were like, 6.5, 6 around there, and then all of a sudden it shot up. So just be aware right now too, interest rates, inventory, buyer demand, all those things can change in a heartbeat. So just be really, really careful. Now, for new homes are getting aggressive again too. I think, like I said, they started pulling back their incentives maybe last October. And they're weaning them off like February before the Super Bowl and all that stuff too. And then all of a sudden after the Super Bowl, buyer demand was still a little sluggish, and I think they're throwing them back on the market. So I do think that if you are someone looking for a new home, my gut tells me that you're probably going to see more incentives come our way as buyer demand is still relatively low and we're not getting that spring rush. So I would say keep in touch with your new home salesperson. Make sure you're working with a realtor, that if you like a certain model, certain builder, they're pinging them every single week to figure out if there's even a better incentive. Because I think you're going to start seeing even better incentives towards the end of spring and even the beginning of summer if our demand stays the way it is. So just be in mind, I think new homes, you could get a smoking deal on that because they pulled back their incentives. They shouldn't have done that. And I think you could be seeing a lot better incentives come our way. So just keep that in mind if it's your time to buy. All right, let's answer some questions and then we will get you guys gone for the evening. And hope you guys are enjoying this broadcast. Like I said, if you are, smash that like button. This real estate podcast, Sacramento real estate podcast, I've been doing it for like, I don't know, 3 years. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Bring your questions. If you're someone who's thinking about, you know what, I might be moving to Sacramento. I might be moving to Austin. I might be moving to Phoenix. You know, like this is that place you come to get real-time data and also to figure out if this Sacramento is a spot for you. Like all these people right here that are basically putting up their comments and their questions are people who you can like look at what they're asking and get my answers on them as well too. Also, I'm always available via phone. If you guys are thinking that Sacramento is a good spot, or you're thinking, you know what, I've seen enough of it, so it piques my interest, feel free to give me a call. I always have a Zoom link below as well too. You guys can set up a time where we can talk. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to work with me, but honestly, you know, it gives you a little bit of a area where you can ask the questions you need to. Like, for example, like Auburn, is there fire insurance in Auburn? Should you be buying El Dorado Hills, SMUD versus PG&E? There's so many different questions that people have when they move into the area. So like I said, you're always welcome to give me a call. And also I try my best to answer all the questions and comments that come into the site. And if that's you, and after you watch this video, you want to ask them, put them down below. All right, boom, let's get into some questions. All right, who's looking to move out of state? I refuse to let an incompetent, corrupt governor and leadership force me out of my home state by making it too expensive to live. I'm staying and voting and holding the line on our constitutional freedoms. Guys, honestly, one of the things about Sacramento in general, state capital, man, political stuff is out there right now too. I'd say right now, I'm not hearing too much about people leaving the state. I am hearing people who were thinking about maybe upgrading in the Sacramento area, moving up here, and maybe right now going back on the fence and kind of waiting stuff out. So it is an interesting time. But if you guys do make the move up to Sacramento, politics is big here, state capital. All right. Why would I want to pay for freeways twice? They've already taxed us and continue to tax people to create and maintain freeways. If they have tolls, they're no longer free. I agree. I'm not a big fan of that too. I'll be driving on those things like crazy. So that is not fun for me. Sacramento, California's top 6 suburbs for 2025. Casino, zoo, just BS. Look, whether you like it or not, whether you're a fan of Elk Grove or not, you know, Elk Grove is one of the hottest markets in the Sacramento area. The casino, everyone loves the casino. I'm not a big casino guy myself too. In fact, I've never really been in there. The zoo is coming. Elk Grove is competitive. It is highly in demand. People and the stuff they're doing in Elk Grove is nuts. So whether you love Elk Grove or you don't love Elk Grove, just understand that Elk Grove is easily one of the most, like, I don't know, nuts, and 757 is just crazy. So, you know, like I said, love it or not, it is what it is. All right, schools, all that fun stuff. All right, is real estate market a bit slow right now? It's scary to buy because of tariffs. It's scary to buy for so many different reasons right now. And I get it. A lot of people are kind of freaked out. Like I said, for me, like I say always on this channel, time your life, do not time the market. There always seems to be something in the market. Now, definitely more than not, there's more stuff on the market than there has been in a long, long time. But I would say also, if this is your time to buy and you're saying to yourself, you know what? Okay, there's a bunch of crazy stuff happening right now in the world, market, and the economy, but my job's good, got money in the bank. We were planning this move for a year. I mean, there are still strategies that you can put in place to actually make this market work for you. In any type of market, good market, bad market, slow demand, high demand, there's ways to leverage yourself in there. You just need the right team to work with to do that for you. So I would say a lot of people are nervous, but if it's your time to buy and you have been planning on this move for a long, long time, talk to some good real estate professionals and ask them. Don't just say, hey, I want to buy a house. Oof, you'll see 3 houses and you'll be in one. Ask them some questions about like the development plans of a certain area, communities versus the other communities, new school development. I've talked to them about job numbers and everything too. There's things that you can do to kind of like hedge your bets a little bit more. So I would say just work with realtors who actually think past just putting a sign in the ground, think past of like just putting you in a home, work with people that you feel like really have your back and really want to kind of nurture a relationship. For us, whoever we work for, it's never just about the transaction. It's always about the idea that we're your go-to for anything you need. For any, like, you know, if you need a concrete floor put in, we got you. Tile, landscaping. If at the end, if 2 years down the road, you say to yourself, you know, how much is my house worth? we don't do those like, like generic ones. We send out like HomeBot, but then also if someone asks us about their follow-up, we always go to the house and see how it's doing. So just work with someone who has that long-term relationship at their back of their mind. Those are the ones I would work with. So that's it. Soapbox, I'm done. All right, who's ready for a video on Rancho? Okay, guys, I had my drone guy, Adrian. He is an amazing. If you guys want someone to shoot some drone footage, he's awesome. Okay, so he put a bunch of drone footage for Natomas in a folder for me. I haven't seen it yet, but I will. He put Lincoln in a folder for me as well too. And he's finished up Rancho as well too. So I got like everything. I got all Rancho droned out. I got all what's called Lincoln droned out into Natomas. So I'm gonna be dropping some good videos for you guys to see. I'll put a little nice music in there as well too, but you guys are going to see everything that's been happening in the Sacramento area for some of the best spots. Now I want to do Fair Oaks after that. I'd like to do East Sacramento because Michelle lives in East Sacramento. She loves the area, and I want to kind of do a little bit more of Sacramento proper. So that's coming. Now, if you guys want a specific area and you're saying, or a community, just say, hey, look, I'd love for you to take a little drone, maybe do a video on this area in this community. We've been thinking about it. I take requests, so just let me know. All right, next. All right, so this is it. We did a video, and I love this. This is Vegas versus Sacramento. Better. Vegas for traffic. Don't know that. Food. I'd say Vegas is probably pretty good for food. Been there. Things to do, Vegas. See, Vegas for me isn't my style of things to do. I'm not a casino guy. I'm not a going out party guy. Like, I'm more like barbecue, biking, hiking, trails. Like, so for me, Sacramento, I gotta say for me, Sacramento's a little bit better on that. Weather, Sacramento for sure. Cost of living, Las Vegas. Again, probably nightlife, Las Vegas. Yeah, nightlife, but at the same time, like, I don't know if necessarily people come to Sacramento because they want to be at, they're going out till 2 o'clock in the morning. I think we're more of Netflix, suburb, Traeger, pool, getting people over to our houses. Sports, Vegas. Yeah. Theater and arts, Sacramento. Oh, thank you for that. Museum, Sacramento. Education, Sacramento. I love that. All right. Outdoor activities, slight edge to Vegas. All right. Neighborhood, Sacramento. Each neighborhood in Vegas looks the same. That is one thing I will definitely say. I've seen these videos. Like, there's some really good YouTubers in Vegas. I kid you not. It just looks like there's no foliage and there's a bunch of just like the same houses in Vegas. There just doesn't look like there's a lot of character out there too. I mean, the thing about Sacramento is like, yeah, Elk Grove has a lot of tract homes, and like Folsom does as well too. But we got some amazing houses. In historic Folsom, there's older built houses. East Sacramento, 1920s. I mean, we have a nice diversity of architecture in Sacramento. So you're going to find some amazing stuff. And we have areas like Fair Oaks, City of Trees, all that stuff too. Like, we got some foliage. We got some really cool stuff here too. Houses on the water. Vegas, for me, like I said, I think Vegas is one of those markets that sometimes is compared to Sacramento. I think it's hotter in Vegas, but I do think that like in Vegas, I just don't see a lot of communities that they all blend kind of together. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right, next one, boom. Elk Grove versus Folsom versus Roseville. Which suburb is the best for healthcare professionals and closer to hospital and clinics? Okay, here's the thing. Roseville has a trauma center. Roseville is very, very heavy in medical. So I would say one is we've got Kaiser, Mercy, Dignity, Shriners, UC Davis. We've got hospitals literally all over the Sacramento area. Medical is huge business in the Sacramento area. We're talking Roseville, Folsom, Rancho, you name it, we have it. But I would say Roseville has a lot of medical going on. I'd say maybe UC Davis and the downtown area as well too. But I don't know if you can miss in a lot of spots. They're putting a new Dignity Hospital in Elk Grove. Folsom Ranch has got that new UC Davis campus. They're also putting another Dignity Hospital in Folsom. Then they have that Kaiser campus that's coming downtown Sacramento, another Kaiser that's coming in Roseville. So, I mean, medical is so big here in the Sacramento area. So if you're someone who's looking for the medical stuff, like, it's going to be tough because so many spots are really, really focused in on medical. All right, next one. Who's ready for video on Rancho Cordova? Anyone? Okay. So like I said, I got drone of Rancho that I'm going to be putting together. I did a video on Rancho maybe like 2 months ago that did pretty well, but I want to do drone footage of Rancho. I also want to feature some of the new home communities as well too. We're going to go out there and do tours of that as well for you for the video. So we got some good videos coming up for you guys on Friday at 7 p.m. And I've not decided on the Friday one yet. All right. Oh, and shout out to my new editor and my new like partner in crime, Melanie, who's helping me with our Friday videos and all the thumbnails and everything too. She's doing amazing. And hopefully sooner than later, I will actually have her on the YouTube channel. She is really, really smart and she is helping out like crazy. And I don't know, it's great so far. Fair Oaks, please. All right, Fair Oaks is coming. My drone guy is actually going to Fair Oaks in 2 days. Fair Oaks is interesting too. There are so many different parts of Fair Oaks. There's like the downtown Fair Oaks. There's Fair Oaks by kind of like what's called like Currow Downs and everything too. So there's a lot of different spots of Fair Oaks. So we'll see if we can cover it all and I can get my drone guy to do all of them. All right. Sacramento's big problem. Everyone's moving here. Moving to Sacramento in the summer. How's the rental market like? We'll probably rent for the next 6 months before jumping into the housing market. Would we be able to rent a decent 2-and-2 apartment for less than $2K close to downtown? I would say 2K. You could probably do a 2-and-2, maybe a 2-and-1, but probably a 2-and-2. I would say straight up, talk to Ben. Like I said, he focuses more on single family homes, but if anyone's got the pulse about that, Ben does. Now, for some reason, Ben doesn't have something for you, which is like rare. Give me a call directly and you'll see my number all over this YouTube channel. I'll put you in touch with a few of our clients because we also have a lot of investors who basically buy some condos, buy 2-and-2, all that stuff too. And they have usually some units available. So I can put you in touch with some people as well too. But I think, 2000, like here's the thing. For about a 3-and-2 bedroom single family home, you're probably around 2,500 to 2,700. For about maybe a 4-and-2 or a larger home, maybe 1,900 square feet, you're looking around maybe $3,000 a month, depending on where you are. So I think a 2-and-2, you can make that work. But just let me know and we can find you some good options as well too. All right, game over. Sacramento's top luxury suburb, Grand Bay. Are cash flowing rental single family homes in Sacramento anymore? Nah, it's tough. I mean, honestly, I think a majority of people realize right now that Sacramento still has some great areas for appreciation. For me, if I'm going single family home, like I like the idea of buying a brand new home. If you're buying a brand new home, I would say for appreciation, those are awesome. Those are great. If you're looking for something, I think a little bit more like the rental stuff, I'd be looking towards areas that don't have Melrose, don't have HOAs. Like I said, I always talk about the Rosemont area. I like College Glen as well too. You can probably pick up a 3-and-2 for like $420 over there too. Cute, no bells and whistles, maybe 2-car garage, decent sized backyard. That's where I would go. But, like I said, if Sacramento was cash flowing, what you'd notice is that section of single family homes that are like for first time home buyers, those all would be eaten up and they're not. That market actually is kind of, there's a lot of houses in that price point that are sitting. And so that right there tells you that a lot of stuff isn't cash flowing. But like I said, for me though, if I'm looking to cash flow in Sacramento, there's house hacking you can do. There's ways to do it, like traveling nurses. You just have to kind of work. Like I would say, talk to Corey. He's been on the channel a few times, or Matt. They can do some numbers for you and see if stuff works. But I think at this point in time in Sacramento, especially if you saw earlier that interest rates are getting up to 7 again, I think you got to do some creative stuff to make it work. So, all right, game changer. Love Elk Grove 95624. Ooh, 624 Sheldon Estates. I like the 624. I think with the connector project too, that area is going to just be, I think some people are going to be making a lot of money over there. All right. Bought a good sized property back in 2016. Oh, you are loving it. Close to Old Town, good schools, great neighborhood, and walking distance, everything. Honestly, Elk Grove is, and this is the thing about Elk Grove too. If you look at just the 757 and you look at those houses like the Drake, which I love, and all that stuff too, the zoo, the casino, that's great. But there's also like the lagoon area. You know what I mean? The 758, which has those man-made lakes, and they're amazing. And then if you go further, there's like the 624, where you got like Sheldon Estates and $1 million homes, houses with like acreage. So I would say you can't really generalize Elk Grove and just say it's a 757. Elk Grove has got so many diverse areas to live. You can have anything you want in Elk Grove too. Yes, is it flatter than your El Dorado Hills, Folsom, or Rocklands? Yeah, it's flat. It just is what it is. But can you get some amazing houses out there? Can you have that kind of ranch style home? Absolutely. And also, if you want the Elk Grove feel, but you don't want that Elk Grove price, Galt is super close by as well too. So I don't know. I like Elk Grove. All right. Ooh, this is a good one. Why Sacramento the next big thing? Yeah, that's all Sacramento needs. More development, more traffic. Why would anyone get excited about more homes? All it does is ruin the quality of life for those already here. These developers come in and do a pump and dump and ruin all open greenbelt areas, look out, all that stuff. Yeah. Here's the thing. I think if you're a local here, you're seeing all these houses built. I think it is making you really, really kind of a little bit like, like the stuff they're doing over in El Dorado Hills, right above Blackstone, Folsom Ranch. They're putting a lot of homes there too. I get that. And I get the idea that we are kind of knocking out a lot of our landscape here in the Sacramento area. Am I excited about new homes being built? I think there should be a limit. I think right now, one of the things that attracts people to the Sacramento area, like the Folsoms, the Rocklands, the Grant Bay, is because they want something in some of the most beautiful Northern California like areas, and they just don't want it to be like dense like the Bay Area. So I think there should be a balance. I agree. I think that like right now what you're seeing is because we have so much land all over Sacramento, people just feel like, we're building, building, building because the numbers make sense. The ROI is there and we're going, going, going. I think it's up to us to kind of say, enough is enough. Because eventually it's just going to be too much. And eventually people are going to have to move up to like a Shingle Springs, Cameron Park, Auburn, Newcastle to get that, like, to get what they can get currently in like the Folsom El Dorado Hills area. And that would be a shame. All right, Sacramento real estate market update. Not be able to buy a home today. I think a lot of people right now, straight up, I think the idea is that, with everything that's going on, one person to buy a house, even in, back in the day, Sacramento was an easy one. I worked with college kids getting out and they moved in with their fraternity brothers. This isn't the same market it was back then. I think right now you need two people with good incomes to buy a house in the Sacramento area. And I think Sacramento, as far as everyone, all these affordable this, affordable comparison to the Bay Area, to Los Angeles, but affordable to what Sacramento used to be, affordable against like areas like, cities in Texas and Arizona, not so much anymore. All right. Who's waiting to buy for fall to buy? Real estate is a bad investment right now. The entire market is artificially inflated. You'd be buying with negative equity out of the gate. Definitely would not buy real estate again. It's a horrible investment. Okay, here's the thing. Number one is this, like, if you look at it straight up for an investment point of view, like right now, it's a hard one. It's a hard one to look at and go, oh man, this is just like, and I think a lot of times people will look at it in that direction and they'll hold off on buying a house. I'd say for investment properties, that's a whole nother topic. But I would say for someone who's looking to buy a house, to upgrade, to get a pool, I think that the thing that these comments don't really factor in is the quality of life. For me, for example, like I didn't think to myself, oh, like this is gonna make me rich buying my house. I said to myself, like, I want my daughter to have a pool. I want a community that I feel safe about. And that was a huge factor in why I bought my house. I didn't want to pay rent, and I wanted something that, like, this is what I want. I wanted my daughter to wake up. I wanted her to have like, her nice room. I wanted her to have a place where she was like really, really like happy with those family memories, barbecues, get-togethers, family stuff. Like that's why I bought. So I think at times, yes, you can look at the market and go, oh, this makes no sense. But I think also one of the big factors is the idea of saying to yourself, like, I've been waiting on the sidelines. Now's my time to buy. Maybe we're having another child, we need another bedroom or something like this. And if it does make sense, sometimes if you don't look at it as a solely just an investment and you look at it as something like where you're saying like, I want to improve my quality of life. I think there is a balance between that as well too. So for me, like I said, I didn't think, oh, yay, I'm going to buy my primary home. And all of a sudden, like I'm going to be, this is the best investment I ever made. I said to myself, I want to get in my home. I did my research on the area. I know the community. I know the value, square footage, all that stuff too. I didn't think I was going to be leaving this house for another 5 to 7 years. And my biggest thing was before summer hits, I want my daughter to be in a house with a pool. So that was my driver. And I think that when you look at it just for investments and all that stuff too, a lot of that stuff is like, I get because, everyone's got to watch their money, but I do think like the quality of life is a piece of the reason why people do buy homes. My 2 cents. All right, we got Ben. All right. I used to think Rancho was sketchy by the south side of 50 is different. What do you think? Honestly, I think here's the thing. I think that the 50 area there, I think what you're noticing is that a lot of investors are picking up those homes because that's the only part of the Rancho area. Well, no, not the only part. The biggest part of the Rancho area that is like, doesn't have Melrose, doesn't have HOAs. I think those houses, I mean, honestly, they go for like in the 400s. I think at this point in time, I think a lot of people, those whole areas are going to start changing. I think right now, I like the area because it kind of bleeds into the whole Rosemont, La Riviera area as well too. I think what you're going to notice is that anything in the 400s right now in Sacramento does really, really well. But I do think honestly, those areas by the 50 and the Rancho, you got to go kind of street by street as well too. I think there's some areas I look at like, like Sun River, for example, like that's in Rancho. I love that area. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I think it's like a beautiful area by the water. Community vibe is there. The people there are absolutely unreal. So I think you just have to look at community by community, street by street, and also go with your gut, I think. But for me, I think the price point there, I don't know if you can beat it. I was actually looking for, we were with clients with Nikki last weekend and we saw this house. It was like for $499, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, what was it? 2-car garage, swimming pool. I kid you not, this house was in mint condition. The pool was absolutely amazing, Pebble Tech. It was selling for $490. And I was thinking to myself, like, where else in Sacramento are you going to get this? Looked around the community, green grass, nice people walking around. I was like, this is a score of an area. So for me, I don't know. I think the price is good. Which part of Rancho has luxury listings? I would say right now, here's the thing. I think there is a little bit of the Anatolia area that does. I think like the area that like Cressley was building in and Premier Homes was building in. I've seen areas in Anatolia, and this is the thing about Anatolia that was crazy. Before like all these houses started coming in, a lot of these houses started coming in at the 500 price point. It was hard to find anything in the Anatolia area, in the Rancho area for like under 650. It just was even, and this was a while ago. So I do think that there is a subsect, there's a little sector in the Rancho area, especially that area, that are like really amazing like houses. Like the single story house, like the last one we sold, it was funny because I listed this and I was talking about it on the channel and people were like, it's never going to go. It's not going to go. It's not going to go. And the thing went like $30,000 over list, because what you're noticing right now, what I tell people all the time is Anatolia is still really desirable. Soccer fields and all that stuff too. The other thing too is if you look at it comparatively towards like Folsom Ranch, what do you got in Folsom? Taylor Morrison only has lots that have tiny little backyards at this point. Lennar is on the hill, and so they have got their HOA, and Lennar is Lennar. Then you got Woodside building for like 1-2. You don't really have anybody building right now at Folsom Ranch that has somewhat in that price point of like 650, 750, 850, 950. Everything is pretty much like either tiny backyards in Folsom Ranch or like big backyards, nice views, but are like 1.2, 1.3 million. So I think right now what I've seen is a lot of people who are going to work at like, UC Davis, that campus in Folsom Ranch. During that open house we had for the first house, we had at least 3 doctors walk in the door. So I think a lot of people are saying, you know what? I love Toll Brothers Preserve, but I'm not spending a 1.5 on a house up there too. I'd rather swing it into Rancho. We're 12 minutes away and we got everything we want in a backyard for like, $835. I mean, for me, that's what we're seeing more than not. All right. Lennar also has a luxury homes in Rancho with next gen living. I haven't really checked out too many of Lennar homes in the Rancho area. I had a couple clients that bought Lennar homes back in the day in that area, and they liked their homes. The thing for me though is I haven't checked out their homes, so I don't know. I think if you're looking for the most luxury homes in the Rancho area, I would say straight up Cressley and Premier, in my humble opinion, probably. And based on the finishes, based on the floor plans, like for example, the house that we have there are no houses right now being built by the current builders there that have a single story with the height that the one we're listing has. These look like Toll Brothers height ceilings. And that for me is amazing. Because if I'm getting a single story home, I don't want to feel like tight. I don't want to feel like small little ceilings. I want to feel like I'm almost in a 2-story home. And I think like for me, like I looked all over, like I said, I'm talking Woodside, Beazer, I'm talking like Lennar back in the day. I'm talking like what else was out there? Like Woodside, what else was there? There are other builders. And I looked at all those builders. I must have put at least 30 people in homes in those areas. And the 2 builders there that really, really for me were like Cressley and Premier. There's something about their build quality. There's something about their finishes. There's something about their floor plans. It really felt like they were the next level. So that's kind of what I saw out there. All right, next. All right, Sacramento, a better place than it was 10 years ago. Yep. Moving to Sacramento 2005. Watch this first. Looks like Roseville is the most ideal place. Okay. One is I think for locals, I think local straight say probably wasn't as good as it was 10 years ago. I think people moving in, probably people who've been here for the last 6 years, 7 years, I think you're definitely going to see it say it was better. And I think also what you're going to notice is by 2030, 35, it's going to be a destination spot for sure. I mean, I think Sacramento, even with all the stuff happening, tariffs or whatnot, I mean, if you look at everything Sacramento has, all the development that's happening here, all the diversification of jobs, all the communities, new builds, all the Melloreos that people are paying because they brought brand new homes, we're like growing. All the Melloreos, consider Melloreos water. We're watering the entire area of Sacramento. So we're going to have brand new schools, police departments, parks, and everything too. I mean, that's a lot. That's going to be really, really amazing in like 2030, 2035. Like, I don't know. Still love our area. And like I said, every city, every metro area in the United States has issues and everything too. But as far as my money goes, as far as where I would want to be right now in this whole crazy economy that we're in now, like Sacramento straight up has so many pros going for it. Like California, you know, and I know people, politics, property taxes, whatever, but I'll say California, we got the weather, tornadoes, what tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes. My mother-in-law said she felt one. I didn't feel an earthquake. So for me, like, as far as I go, like, I love our weather here too. Does it get hot during summer? Yeah, it gets hot during summertime. But if you're in Sacramento County, you got SMUD. Then you got an hour and 20 minutes from Lake Tahoe, where I will probably be going for spring break. You got like what, 2 hours anywhere to the Bay Area. You got Folsom Lake, Sacramento River, American River, and you can actually buy something that you want to buy here, and not just buy something that you're grateful that you got anything at all. As for me, Sacramento is still that place where you want to be. All right, boom. Hey, Vicky, how you doing? If they build a new road or lane, I might agree, but adding tolls across the lanes must be a violation of the original bonds that they paid for their construction. I'm with you. Like, here's the thing. I'm going to be really, really, really annoyed if we get toll roads and there's no additional lanes and the traffic is the exact same as it is now. Yeah, I'm with you 100%. All right. All this love for Rancho, never any mention for other Rancho Marietta. Rancho Marietta. Okay. The only thing that I'm not a big fan of Rancho Marietta, because I think here's the thing, back in the day, it was Rancho Marietta and El Dorado Hills. It was neck and neck. And I think people forgot about Rancho Marietta. I've been out there and I like it. I think the weather there is nice. I think the only thing that kills me is that freeway between Folsom and Rancho Marietta. It's like, that's the other thing too. It's just a little bit further out there, and that road to get out there is just brutal, but I like it. I think it reminds you of kind of like West Marin out there too. So for me, I like Rancho Marietta. I think it's good. The only thing for me is the fact that, like, if I lived in Rancho Marietta, I'd be drinking a whole lot of Pepto-Bismol to get to where I need to be. But I think Rancho Marietta is good. Like I said, if you guys look at Sacramento straight up, I think it's a spot that there's something amazing about every spot in Sacramento. Elk Grove, Roseville, West Sacramento, Rockland, Lincoln, everything. Like, I look at it and I'm saying to myself, like, these are all things that I really, really love. I mean, for me, it was so difficult when we made our last move to where we wanted to live. Yeah, we stuck in Gold River because of family, but man, every single weekend, it was like a different area I was checking out, like Lincoln, Cameron Park, you know, Anatolia. Like, it was just crazy. Folsom. I mean, I was just going all over the place because there wasn't really one spot that I said to myself, like, that's the best spot to live. It's just, there were so many amazing places to live in Sacramento that for me, you know, I love living in a place like that too. It makes it a lot more fun, but I got love for Rancho Marietta. All right, who wins? Sacramento, Vegas? Guys, you know what? Vegas might have us in nightlife, but Sacramento, 81%. I'm with you guys. There's no way I'd live in Vegas. Maybe like fly in there back in the good old battle days, but Sacramento, hands down, California lifestyle, great people, great spot to live. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with me. All right. Do you think new home prices will eventually be impacted by tariffs? Yeah. I think that if tariffs keep going, I think that there is no way humanly possible that new homes will not be affected by this. It wouldn't make any sense to me. So yeah, I think that is something. Here we go. Here's at home, guys. Here's the outside of it. Gorgeous house. If you guys want to see the videos on the channel as well too, and reach out to Michelle or myself. Is that it for today? Are we done? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I know it's a little shorter than usual. If you've enjoyed live broadcasts, smash that like button. Comments and questions are more than welcome. Also, on Friday at 7 p.m., I'll be dropping another video. I'll keep you guys in a little bit of a mystery until maybe like Friday at maybe 5 until like I post a thumbnail. But for me, honestly, I love Sacramento. And one of the things about me, a lot of people are like, you're a realtor, you have to love Sacramento. I could move wherever I wanted to move and do this YouTube thing and become a realtor. I love Sacramento. I love the people. I love the area. I love the growth potential. I think it's amazing. Maybe I'll do Denver next. Maybe Tucson next. Sacramento versus Tucson next. Don't laugh. Samson, here's what I'm going to say. I lived in Tucson for an entire year when I was junior college at what's called U of A, Wildcats. Pima Community College for like long story. But yeah, Tucson is crazy. So, okay, I could do a Tucson poll. Mile High, go Denver. All right. Denver's in the house. Denver, okay, I got to say something. I really like Denver. I've never been to Denver. Denver is on my list. I mean, Denver, Mile High. I hear the airport is just gorgeous. Like, yeah, it could be a good one. All right, we'll do maybe Tucson tomorrow and then Denver the next day. Also, guys, if you guys know realtors that like YouTube and everything too from different cities, like, Denver, Phoenix, wherever, have them reach out to me. Let's do a head-to-head and let's talk a little bit about different areas and give you guys a little bit of an insight on Sacramento versus Tucson, Sacramento versus Denver. I'm totally game for that. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the broadcast. And like I said, smash that like button. Till the next video. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. It looks like toll lanes, it looks like Fastrak are on their way to Sacramento area, whether we like it or not. So hopefully this video kept you a little bit more informed. If you liked the video, if you liked our live broadcast that we do every Wednesday at 7 p.m., please smash that like button. Also, any comments or questions you have, we answer all of them, so put them below. Now, if you're thinking about relocating to the area, reach out to our team. We'd love to talk to you a little bit about it. We are a real estate relocation team, and we are one of the top ones in the entire area. There's a Zoom link below. Click on the Zoom link, and we will set up a time where we can talk to you, answer any questions you might have, and give you a little bit more education about the Sacramento area. Now, if you're someone who lives in the Sacramento area and you want to sell your home, don't settle for the post in the ground realtors crossing their fingers and hopefully your house will sell. We work with YouTube, we work with Instagram, we work with TikTok. We market your house like no other, and we get more eyeballs on your homes than any other team in the area. We'd love to talk to you a little bit about how we market and how we separate ourselves from the pack from any other team in the area. Reach out to us as well for that. One last thing before I go, there's a playlist over there of all my past live broadcasts to help you get a little bit more education on the area. Education is power, and guys, these live broadcasts will get you everything you need to know about moving into the Sacramento area. All right, guys, again, I'm done. Over an hour worth of content just for you guys about Sacramento. Don't forget to hit that like button. See you next video. This is Mark. Have a good one.